Scrapbooking friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am working on a layout for the Cocoa Vanilla design team, and today I decided to give myself a little bit of a Throwback Thursday challenge. This was not an assignment, but I thought it would be fun to pull out some collections that I haven't played with in a really long time. And so what I have on my desk is the More Than Words collection and some stuff from Wild at Heart. Now, More Than Words, I think, is 2, maybe 3 years old, and Wild at Heart is even older than that. So you'll see that I'm at the very end of what I have in my stash. I have some papers, and I have some like a handful of die cuts, and some chipboard and some cardstock stickers. And I thought it would be fun to see what I could come up with if I didn't have the entire collection at hand. It's kind of like, I don't really want to call this stash busting, but that's really what my goal was, to pretty much break into my stash, to use up the ends of these collections. Because here's the thing, like, die cuts I think is everyone's favorite supply to scrapbook with, but then what do you do when you run out of the die cuts? And that's the question I'm hoping to answer today. What do you do when you run out of the die cuts? And I think it actually worked out really well, and I kind of got a layout that I'm really excited about. So what you saw me doing with my hands was tracing out the general shape of my layout. I thought it would be fun to use some pattern papers, because if you've watched me scrapbook before, you might know that I don't really use a lot of pattern paper in my scrapbooking. I tend to work on white cardstock. I buy a lot of paper, but I tend to work on white cardstock, and I very rarely use pattern paper in my scrapbooking. So what I did was I figured I would add some paper to this layout since I'm at the end of my embellishments. You see, I just ran out of tape. I am always out of tape, but I thankfully had some more in my stash. But I used that gray chevron pattern paper as my base, and then I added 2 more papers to it. I added that dark leaf paper to the top because the paper, I don't use a lot of dark papers in my scrapbooking, and my mission for what year is this? For 2020, wow, like 2020 just started and I don't even remember what year it is. My mission for 2020 is to challenge myself in ways that I wouldn't normally, and so I really wanted to use that dark pattern paper. And there's my photo. I'm scrapping a picture of Minerva while she was sleeping in our bed. If this is your first time here, I have 2 cats, Minerva and Astoria. I like to say that Astoria generally hates me, so I never get any pictures of her, and Minerva loves me so much it hurts. And then as I put that picture down of Minerva, I thought it'd be fun to kind of do like a shadow box, I guess, for lack of a better term, a shadow box style layout. So what I wanted to do was put that fun floral paper up on foam and kind of tuck my picture of Minnie and the die cuts and the embellishments behind it. And you'll see how it comes out in the end. But I thought it was a really fun technique. It's something a little different. You've seen me play with dimension before. I do like having things at different heights and different levels. But I thought it'd be fun to put a huge element of my layout up on a different level as opposed to just a few bits and pieces here and there. So I'm literally putting a ton of foam tape behind that floral paper, and you see I don't put it all the way to the edge because 1, I want to be able to tuck embellishments and tuck my photo underneath it, and 2, it is actually a little too big for my layout. So I cut it a little big on purpose so that I could trim it down when I was ready. And so you see I have it trimmed down and it's fitting and it's perfect. Also, if the video quality looks a little bit differently, I actually just upgraded my computer software. I've had a PC for a very long time, and the PC that I had was on its last legs, and it was taking me hours to edit videos and to get content up. And I finally bit the bullet and upgraded my computer to a better model, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy the video quality coming out now. Also, I'm going to be able to get things out so much faster because it will take me so much less time. And you guys, it used to take me 3 hours to edit a 25-minute video. To edit and export a 25-minute video used to take me 3 hours, and to edit this video took me 15 minutes. 15 minutes compared to 3 hours. Like, there's literally no comparison. So I hope you guys enjoy the new quality of the video. Please let me know in the comments what you think. This is not related to the process at all, but please let me know in the comments what you think, because I'm tweaking and I'm learning how to use this new machine, and I think it's going to be really good for us, for this channel, and for this community. I think you guys are going to be really happy. So back to my layout. So what I did was I used the 6x6. So when More Than Words came out, Zoe was still releasing 6x6 paper pads. Zoe and Cocoa Vanilla have since, I don't want to say upgraded, because it's not really an upgrade, it's more of a change. But Zoe and Cocoa Vanilla have since changed to 6x8 papers. So I just use a few of the, I'm lying, I didn't use the 6x6 paper pad at all. There was a cut apart sheet in the More Than Words collection. I'm like so turned around right now. There was a cut apart sheet in the More Than Words collection, and that's what I used to back my paper, because it had 3x4 and 4x6 papers, and I used that to back my paper. So to back my paper, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I use that to back my photo. And so there was like a blue one, a green one, a blue one, a pink one, a black and white one, and a fun floral. And now all we're doing is embellishing. And if you guys have watched me scrapbook before, then you know how I do this. I am very much a pick it and stick it kind of girl. And actually, because I was at the tail end of my More Than Words collection, I literally pulled out everything I had left. Like, I think I had like 5 cardstock die cuts and maybe 2 or 3 of the vellum florals from the original set. And I just picked out whatever I had and I went with it. So I'm literally just sticking things down in different layers. Again, if you've seen me scrapbook before, then you know my MO. I pick things up, I stick it down. I put things in the, that's part of the reason why I like having a variety of photo layers and photo mats, because I like to stick things at different levels and different heights. So I put things in between the individual photo mats, as well as putting things behind the photo itself. So now I'm using my EK Tools Success. I think that's the brand. I'll link everything in the description box, but that's the EK Tools powder tool, and that is my favorite thing to do when I want to use cardstock die cuts as cardstock stickers as die cuts. Because I'm at the end of my stash with this particular collection, I'm trying to figure out like creative ways to embellish this layout. So I just use those cardstock stickers. Use the EK Success tools, the EK powder tool. Like, I'm really gonna have to Google the exact name of that and put it in the description box. But I use the powder tool to take the stickiness off the stickers, so I can use them as die cuts. And this is like one of my favorite things to do, because I say this all the time, I have commitment issues and I don't like having to like stick a sticker down and be stuck with it. So I like to just take the stickiness off and then I can pick it up and move it as I go. So now I'm introducing some of the Wild at Heart die cuts. I actually have a lot more of these than I have of the More Than Words collection, because when Wild at Heart came out, I actually wasn't even like Cocoa Vanilla wasn't even on my radar. And then when I finally found the brand and I fell in love with it, this is like pre-design team, you guys. That's how, here's my thing about design teams. Like, when it comes to applying, I only apply to brands and to companies that I've loved before. And I've been a diehard Cocoa Vanilla fan before I was even fortunate enough to be on the design team. So like the stuff I'm using right now from More Than Words and from Wild at Heart, that was from my stash that I actually bought with my own money before I was fortunate enough to be on the design team. That is also why I'm at the tail end of it, because I definitely use this stuff up. But when I finally discovered Wild at Heart, it was like sold out everywhere in the States. And it's really hard to get stuff shipped here from Australia. So all I was able to get my hands on was the chipboard stickers and the die cut pack, which is what I'm using here. So I just picked out some florals from the die cut pack, because the florals in the Wild at Heart collection work really well with the florals in the More Than Words collection. And then I added some chipboard. I also pulled out those butterflies because I wanted to have butterflies on my layout, but those butterflies actually don't end up staying on the page because there was a lot of blue and purple in them, and I kept trying to make them work with the color scheme that I had going, but they were a little too cool toned for how warm the colors are in the More Than Words collection. Like, you can see just looking at it, More Than Words has like that fun coral and pink, and it does have blue, but it's more of a teal blue that has a lot more yellow in it. Blue never has yellow in it, but you know what I mean. It was a warm, I don't even know color theory anymore. Wow. But it was a warm tone blue, and the blue and wild at heart is very cool tone. So I ended up just taking that off at the end. I really wanted to make it work because I love having butterflies, but it just didn't. And then since I left the floral paper and let it overlap that black leaf paper in the top, what I did was I created another cluster in the top, same thing, where some things are tucked behind that elevated paper on the black paper, and then some things are over top. So you see, now I'm doing it with the photo. So I added some stuff directly on top of the photo, kind of on top of where it sits. Like, it's hard to explain, but the photo's underneath that floral paper, and then I put embellishments on top. So now I'm really reinforcing the shadow box effect where things are at different layers and different heights. Like, that was my main point, was to just reinforce that height difference. And you'll be able to see it better in the stills. I've included some stills at the end of the video, and you'll be able to see it better in the stills. But I really wanted the things to be at the varied heights to reinforce that whole shadow box effect. So I actually added some chipboard, because chipboard is extra dimension on top of the dimension I already had. I'm adding a little bit more foam underneath my floral layer, just to make sure that it sticks down and everything's working. And then I'm just adding bits and pieces from the chipboard. So I add some hearts. I added an arrow on top of my photo. I'm literally just picking things up and sticking it as I go. And like I said, I'm scrapping a photo of Minerva. My journaling, when I tend to do like 12 by 12 over embellished layouts like this, my journaling goes on the back of the pages, just so I can add the story. But it's not competing with the style of the layout. Because I find when I do layouts like this that are more traditional 12 by 12s that are like embellished to heaven, it's really hard to find a place to tuck in journaling. But I just wrote about Minnie being like my favorite companion and how she loves me so much it hurts. Like, it literally hurts the way Minerva loves me, you guys. She like wants to be in my lap all the time, and if I don't let her in my lap, she will claw at me and scream. She's actually ripped a few pairs of my jeans trying to get in my lap when I didn't want her in my lap. So yeah, Minnie loves me so much it hurts. And that's what I talked about in my journaling, about how much joy she brings to my life, and how glad I am that we have her and her sister. I never thought I'd be a cat person, and then I met my husband's cats. Josh has always had cats. And when we were dating, I used to go upstate and visit his family, and I met his cats, and that's when I finally realized that I actually was a cat person. And so the second we moved in together after we got married, the first thing we did was get cats. Most people are like, how do we get furniture? And I'm just like, how do we get cats? And so we brought Minnie and Tori home when they were 13 weeks old. They are almost 2 now. And they are just, the love of my life, you guys. I love those girls so much. And so that's all I journaled about, was how much I love the cats. And so now you see I'm still working on adding to my cluster. I added some more leaves and stuff on top. And then eventually all I'm going to do is add my title. And so for my title, I used the chipboard stickers from the More Than Words collection. The More Than Words collection came with some chipboard titles in like a dark gray, almost black. And so I grabbed the title that said heart, and then I added the word my to that. And the my is actually from Love Always, which was even older than the collections I'm using. I literally just managed to get the cardstock stickers, but they were really fun ombre. It was like a pink and white ombre, and it was a really fun color palette that I didn't have before. So you see, I finished up my cluster. I added some more cardstock and chipboard stickers. I found a butterfly in the More Than Words collection. I found a heart in the More Than Words chipboard, and now I'm adding my title. And after I add my title, the only other thing I do is scatter a few enamel dots from my stash. You're gonna see my giant pile of enamel dots, and you guys do not judge me. I've said multiple times that enamel dots are like confetti, and I just sprinkle them around everywhere. So I have a giant pile of enamel dots that sits in my scrapbook area, so I have every color you could ever need at any time. And that pretty much completes the layout. So Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing so you can come back to see what I'm up to in the future. I'm going to link my blog post on the Cocoa Vanilla blog in the description box if you want to see more pictures and kind of read what I was up to or see the products that I use. And I'll be sure to link my normal scrapbooking tools like that powder tool and stuff in the description box if you want to grab that for yourself. So that's all I have for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. Thank you so much for coming back and spending time with me always. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are the best. Until next time, keep it crafty and have the very best day.